Impact Audio presents Deception by Rand Paul. Read for you by Joe Lewis. Preface. For a contrarian like me, it's hard not to idolize Li Wenliang. He was a young ophthalmologist, just as I once was, full of youth, unapologetic, and a force for truth, even living in the midst of communist China, where citizens are serenaded by drones hovering outside the balconies of their high-rise apartments, singing the true state anthem, "Control your soul's desire for freedom." Li Wenliang gave his life taking care of COVID patients and trying to warn the world of the impending pandemic. Meanwhile, American government scientists essentially spit on his grave as they buried the truth to cover their asses. At every turn, Anthony Fauci has worked to obscure any connections between the NIH-funded Wuhan lab and COVID-19. Did Li know that his postings on Weibo chat about an unknown SARS-like virus that was killing people in Wuhan would essentially be his last words? How was this hero, this truth-teller, treated by the communist Chinese? He was summoned and reprimanded for spreading rumors and severely disturbing the social order. Li was forced to sign a confession. Realize that he was accused of spreading misinformation, the same sort of accusations that would soon be leveled in the land of the free. I should know. They made the same accusations against me. Major media platforms such as Facebook labeled anyone suggesting that COVID could have originated in the Wuhan lab a purveyor of this so-called misinformation. The term would become the watchword of the American left, desperate to control the narrative by silencing those who questioned it. According to the official Chinese narrative, Li died from COVID. He was only 33 years old. The death rate from COVID or with COVID in the United States for adults between the ages of 30 and 39 is about 0.04%, quite rare. Likely that rate is even lower if patients with significant comorbidities are excluded. Li's death was a great loss, but also a rare occurrence in his age bracket. Extraordinarily rare. In an authoritarian society, such deaths linger and lead to whispers regarding the veracity of official causes of death. When his death was posted online sometime after midnight, the comments on Weibo quickly came in. "I knew you would post this in the middle of the night. You think we've all gone to sleep? No, we haven't." Another commenter posted that countless young people will mature overnight after today. The world is not as beautiful as we imagined. Are you angry? If any of us here is fortunate enough to speak up for the public in the future, please make sure you remember tonight's anger. The wistful responses of China's youth to the loss of one of their own generation remind me of the Parveen Shakir poem, "They insist upon catching the firefly in the daylight. The children of our age have grown wiser." It is yet to be determined whether a new generation of Chinese youth will rise up, remembering the hope that came when Deng Xiaoping dismantled Mao's brutal shackles. Will a new generation channel the despair of Tiananmen Square to forge a new China? A China whose government does not threaten to one day unleash upon the world, either by accident or by intent, a biological scourge that civilization might struggle to survive? With Li's untimely passing, even China's National Supervisory Commission, an anti-corruption department of government, chimed in, saying they would investigate Li's death in response to issues raised by the masses. As CNN reported, the short statement did not elaborate on the nature of the issues raised. Li Wenliang was a hero, and I dedicate this book to Li and all others who resist censorship, in the hope that the DNA of resistance and independent thought will never be stamped out by government censors. Introduction. Once upon a nightmare. As news of the mysterious and deadly virus spread, one can only imagine the flop sweat that must have soaked through Shi Zhengli's clothing as she paced her office in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, WIV. Known worldwide as the Bat Scientist, Dr. Shi trembled at the thought that a worldwide pandemic may have originated in her lab. News that three of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?